Welcome back to Bound News Network. We're doing our daily recap for English grammar, and we're taking a look at 6 words today: arduous, decorous, edify, euphony, mirth, and sobriquet. And as we take a look at these 6 words today, we're going to be looking at their vocabulary cue words with respect to the sample sentences that we're going to go over. And then, of course, we're looking at our word cloud storage memory system. So we're going to firmly implant these words, and we're also going to take a look at just a handful of grammar rules with respect to adjectives and their adjective comparisons. And as we go further into this daily recap series, we're going to be taking a more closer look at all of the different rules with respect to English grammar, and then of course we reinforce a lot of those rules with English grammar with respect to our sample sentences as we get further and further in. But of course, this series emphasizes more along using memory mnemonics to help you implant these words so that you have a firm understanding. So we have arduous, and let's see why the two word cues from the sample sentence have to do with DMV and a fear. And we see here sample sentence, it's an arduous affair to go to the DMV and renew a license. Adjective meaning very difficult or challenging. With respect to our word cloud storage system, we see that synonym is difficult. And the reason we chose a Rubik's Cube as a picture to word association is because we wanted to associate the word difficult to something that takes quite a bit of strenuous activity to perform. And of course, well, I can only speak for myself, but when I was younger, I had a hard time with the Rubik's Cube. Eventually, I was able to solve it once, but it only happened once. Anyway, so we have arduous, which is in the hair storage group, which is the first blue. So let's see what kind of blue association we can make to arduous. Blue cube, perhaps. Arduous blue Rubik's Cube, being that blue is one of the colors on the squares of the Rubik's Cube. So there we're going to do a blue Rubik's as a word trigger, and that may help us to remember that it has to do with difficulty, arduous. And our next word that we're going to look at will be decorous. Decorous is a very pleasant sounding word. Adjective meaning good taste or polite or proper. Sample sentence: the Catholic priest will be missed by his clergy. He was a decorous person who helped so many people living in poverty. As we take a look at the word decorous, it's in the orange group, which is the shoulder storage bin. And we see here synonym meaning decent, and that's affirmed by a handshake, picture to word association. Adjective in good taste. With respect to decorous, good taste, polite, or proper. Let's make sure that we see the orange cloud, orange decent, orange picture to word association. How about a orange handshake? That's another word trigger that you can use for decorous. And you can firmly implant the word in an orange cloud, just as we did with arduous in a blue cloud, and we're using a word trigger such as blue cube or blue Rubik's Cube. So the decorous would be orange handshake. It's in a shoulder bin. So as we look to our next word, we're looking at the word edify, and let's see what it actually means. Edify. Sample sentence: during the pandemic, parents resorted to edifying their kids with the relaxation music. Verb meaning to enlighten. And we see from edify, it's in a red cloud. So improve. How about we do a red cloud association word of red summit? Because a picture to word association is someone climbing to the summit of the mountain. As we can see, verb to improve morally, ethically. So we could do a red summit. It's in a red cloud. And we see here from the actual sample sentence, it has to do with improving or enlightening. So that would be one way to take a look at it. Euphony, euphony, mellifluous would be a synonym. We've actually covered that word, so now you have an extra association. We've actually covered mellifluous. I remember being a pleasant sounding word, and that's a synonym to euphony. And let's see how it's actually used in a sentence. Sample sentence: upon walking up by the music studio in New York City, a beautiful euphony streamed through the neighborhood. Noun meaning pleasant sound. So we can actually see that euphony is actually the two keywords that you're going to remember here have to do with music and studio, just as edify was kids and music, and decorous was Catholic poverty, and DMV was DMV and affair for arduous. So there we see the power of remembering the story of the word, and that's why actually looking at the sample sentences is so very, very important, because you'll actually use word cues, which will actually trigger the memory of the sample sentence. And we always emphasize that has to do with understanding the context of how the word is used, and that will trigger word definition, its possible synonyms. Let's go to the next one: mirth, graduation party. And we see here mirth actually means sample sentence: a wonderful mirth of his graduation party permeated through the entire group of 300 people. Noun meaning amusement. So if we take a look at mirth, it's also in a red cloud. Red happy, synonym gaiety, noun music. How about we do a red trigger with amusement park, red amusement park ride? That may trigger the word as far as a word definition. Mirth, noun meaning amusement. So let's take a look at some of these rules that we're looking at here really quickly before we conclude with our final word, sobriquet. The order of adjectives and comparisons. Test tip: as ask yourself, is the adjective that you're using a classifying adjective or a descriptive adjective? Descriptive adjectives appear before classifying adjectives. So we see some samples there. Comfortable dress suit. Always remember, descriptive adjectives appear before classifying adjectives. Soft tennis grip. Popular conservative party. Solid financial advice. So we see the classifying adjective, and then we see the descriptive adjective. And we see another tip here. Adjectives are words that are used to describe nouns, and they go before a noun and go after the be verb, be. Descriptive adjectives appear before classifying adjectives, as we said. Now, when it comes to attributive adjectives, attributive adjectives appear before a noun, and predictive adjectives appear after the noun. So there we have, as far as taking a look at descriptive adjectives, classifying adjectives, as well as attributive adjectives, as well as predictive adjectives, for a more careful explanation of what the power of adjectives when it comes to your reading and listening comprehension. Let's take a closer look at the sobriquet sample sentence. Michael Jackson often referred to his sobriquet, the king of pop, died at a relatively young age. Noun meaning nickname. If we take a look at our word cloud storage system, we chose a picture to word association of a label, which is a synonym for nickname. So if we did that memory storage trick where we try to cover the left hand side, which has all the colors of the clouds, as well as the words: difficult, arduous, descent, orange handshake, and that would be decorous. Improve, that was in a red cloud, so that was edify. And then we have mellifluous, which was also sounding euphony, red cloud, pleasant sound. And then we have amusement, red. Our trigger was red amusement park ride, gaiety, and that was mirth. And then we have sobriquet, which has to do with label and nickname. And then we do when we cover the right side of our memory cloud storage system, let's see if we can pick up some triggers. Arduous, difficult. The picture to word association was the Rubik's Cube. Decorous. Decorous is a red cloud, the handshake, and in good taste. Edify. We know from just remembering the sample sentence. Kids, music, relaxation. Improve. Um, to improve morally, ethically. Euphony, and that has to do with the pleasant sound. And of course, that triggers the memory of the mellifluous, which is a pleasant sound. Mirth, red cloud. It's in the position of amusement. It's a red amusement park. Is a word trigger. And mirth, and that had to do with gaiety as a synonym. And then sobriquet. Sobriquet was the Michael Jackson King of Pop sample sentence. So that we have a label or nickname. So as you go back and forth with your hand for the left, and then you could go back and forth with your hand for the right, and shield off the different sections of this word cloud memory system, you'll go back and forth until you can firmly implant the word definitions as well as their synonyms as well as the assigned picture to word association. And by going back and forth between your left hand and your uh, right hand, left hand, then you continue to go back and forth. It's a great way for you to study and also assign the words directly to the color of the cloud. Color of the cloud, as well as assigning a trigger word, is a really good way for you to enforce it even more, because your brain is going to remember the story behind the word as well as the color of the cloud. So that is actually the 6 words that we're looking at today. And then we actually went over the order of objectives and comparisons, taking a closer look at descriptive adjectives as well as classifying adjectives, as well as attributive adjectives, as well as predictive adjectives. And we saw some samples there of how we can tell whether the descriptive adjectives go before the classifying adjectives. But as always, always refer back to your word cloud storage memory system, and then we're going to be taking a closer look further at different grammar rules, which will help you to reinforce the usage of these words in different scenarios, and then holding the word definition in proper context as you increase your listening and comprehension skills for the respective exam, whether it's TOEFL, SAT, perhaps even GRE or any other standardized exam. Well, we hope this helped you today and you enjoyed this review of 6 words. Do keep in mind, try to assemble for studying these words and keeping track of our daily recaps. The cue words, the word cues that are below the main word, that is going to significantly increase your recall memory of the words, and you can easily fill out your own index cards as we go through different words and increase and stretch your vocabulary. And then by all means, make sure that you check the links to our main course, 25 chapters, 3 volumes, right now over 300 words, and we're up to over 300 words so far, on our way to 500 or 600 words that we anticipate that are going to be the most common words that will appear on these standardized exams, with respect mostly to TOEFL, SAT, but all these different techniques and strategies and test tips that we apply here could apply to pretty much any standardized exam that has English grammar skills that you'll be tested on, and we want you to test as best as possible, so that you can get into the best college as possible, best college that you want to get into. So we hope that this served you really well. Thank you for tuning in to Bow News Network once again, and make sure that you hit the notification bell and subscribe so that you can continue to stretch your vocabulary with us here. for our daily recap of English grammar, where we cover a lot of different words, continuing to stretch your vocabulary. And then just once again, make sure that you check out our main course, where you'll actually be able to engage with 12 new words every single day. Thank you. Have a great day.